Being able to maintain your knife is a skill within itself, and here you can see I'm just using this DC4 sharpener. One side you've got a diamond side and the other side ceramic. I just pushed a knife into my block and I just want to touch this edge up a little bit. So all I do is a couple of strokes. I don't need many because it's still pretty sharp, and if I do this every time I use the knife, nice flat surface, even sides, a couple of 3 strokes each side. I can even bring the knife back onto me if I want to. These sharpening stones will move along. And it's the tip I use more on my knife, so I just want to hone that tip a little bit. And I like cut the stone. I want to just cut across that stone. Nice. It's giving me that razor edge. Perfect. And then to finish off, push that away, a strop. And this will take all them little burrs off that you get from kind of sharpening. You may have to sharpen your knife once a day. You may have to sharpen it a couple of times a day. It depends how often you're using it. For some people it could be monthly, could be even longer. And I just gently stroke the knife backwards and forwards. A good test for a knife is to see whether it will feather stick and shave hairs. Some knives react in different ways. This is kind of knife maintenance out in the field. There's a nice edge on that now, and a good way of testing is on my nail. It'll stick, the knife will kind of bite in, it won't slide off. It's a great way of testing your knife. Let me have a stick up there. I'll try this stick. Nice. That's definitely feather sticking. If you slice through a bit of wood, you'll often feel any kind of nicks that you may have in your knife blade. It'll often stick there. Of course, I haven't got any now. Perfect. Let's finish off with a strop. Now what I do is I don't use this knife for food prep at all. I only ever use it for woodwork, if you like, or my bushcraft tasks that I've got out in the field. So I just use a WD-40 on it. And just rub that in, let it soak into that edge a bit. What this does is it just helps when you're cutting a lot of resiny woods. It will stop that resin build up on your knife blade. If you get a lot of resin on your knife blade, the easiest way of doing it is soapy water, fairy liquid, and just wash it as you would a normal knife. That does work really well. Make sure the water is pretty hot. Give it a wash, and then you'll have to go back to sharpening. Make sure you thoroughly dry your knife properly, and that works well. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on this handle to soak in. That's all I use. That's fine. Water placement, 40 days WD, everyone knows it. You can use an oil. I've used gun oil if I've got gun oil. Kind of use any kind of oil. The leather sheath, normally a leather polish if I have to maintain that. Let me put in my DC4. It's simple as that. Knives will always react in a different way. I'm going to leave that knife out a little bit and it will just dry off a little bit. There's all types of stuff you can use. These knives are pretty well much the same. All I ever do with these, I don't really put them on stones. Very fine edge on there. I just literally strop them. I'll just strop. And again, I have a look to make sure it's all functional. There's nothing caught up in any of the locks, which it's not. That's fine. That's good to go. And then I check this one. You'll often find on your EDC carries or your folding knives, you can't carry these in the UK. You can that one, but you can't this one. This is obviously for taking it in the field. Make sure that's not got any dirt in there, because that will affect the locking of the knife. Have a quick check, make sure there's nothing inside. Again, a little strop of that knife, a little test on it to make sure it is sharp. These knives have been used today, so that's nice and sharp. Can't feel no bars on it. Awesome knife, really holds a good edge, that does. And of course, we'll give it a little bit of a spray, take out the straw bit in there into that lock, and that's about all I do. A very high stainless steel blade, very corrode resistant blade this is. And again, be careful when you're stroking your knife with your finger, it will bite you if you're not careful. My carter, so it doesn't need anything on the handle on that. Fold it away, job done. And that really is simple maintenance. You can carry a small strop with you out in the field, that works exceptionally well. And like I say, that's how I maintain my knives. I let this oil dry up a bit now, and then we're ready to go for the next little task that we're going to do. That's how I maintain my knives. It's as simple as that.